Based on my research, which I'm about to share with you, I believe that more than 100,000 customers have cancelled their pre-orders of the F150 Lightning, which is very disappointing because I love it. I'm not sure what to make of this. This is strange. I reported back in 2021 that Ford had enough reservations for the Lightning for the next 6 years of production. What happened? Ford is saying they've ramped production now, so that if you place an order today, you can get your vehicle in September. I stand by my comment that the F150 Lightning is a good deal. It is a good deal. In fact, if the F150 Lightning was available in Australia at its current price that it's listed at in America, it would probably be the best-selling car in Australia. In fact, I really believe it would be. It's a really good vehicle. Now, yes, it does have one big flaw, one big problem with the truck, and I wonder if that's why so many people have cancelled their reservations. Maybe. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Just going to turn off that noisy air conditioner. So the Ford F-150 Lightning, it's one of the things I think a lot of tradespeople in the US might be struggling with is the slow charging. The charging isn't slow compared to a lot of cars, but for a vehicle with a battery of this size, it's a little bit slow. And the size of the bed. It's a 5.5 foot bed, which is the shortest bed, I believe, of any full-size pickup truck in the US. Those two things make it not so practical as its gasoline counterparts. I know, I said that, and that's going to put me in the bad box, but I think it's true. I think it's a fair comment to make. The new version, which will be out, I think it'll be in about 18 months, I think will change those issues. I think Ford's very well aware of that, and it will be amazing. But here's the thing. Back in December of 2021, Ford says, if you're toying with the thought of ordering a 2022 Ford F-150 Lightning electric pickup, well, there was bad news. The wait will be long, very, very long, as in you won't get it until 2025 long. Ford temporarily closed reservations for the Lightning because it had enough orders to fill 3 years worth of production. A reservation and an order are two different things though. Reservations are not binding. To reserve a Lightning, customers need only put down a refundable $100 fee. A reservation reserves you the right to place an order. Ford will give reservation holders the chance to order the truck starting in January. At that time, we're talking nearly a year and a half ago, Ford said they had received more than 200,000 reservations. The company has the capacity to build 15,000 of the trucks in 2022, 55,000 in 2023, and 80,000 in 2024. Meaning, at minimum, you should have had to wait 3 years to get your vehicle. All of a sudden, you can get it in September if you order today. That seems a bit too soon considering this massive order backlog, because these were the orders that they had back in December of 2021. How many do they have when they actually started production? Maybe 250,000? Surely. Surely it increased by another 40,000 between that period of time, right? In a year, it must have. But even if it didn't, they still had more than 200,000 orders. Where have they all gone? I'm not trying to clickbait you with this. I really don't understand. I'm confused. Now, in an effort to discover what has happened here, I've looked on different websites and I've tried to find people's comments to see if there's any indication of what might have happened. I have found quite a few comments of people saying they've cancelled their order. They were underwhelmed for various reasons. So I'm not going to go into the reasons because some of them are legit, some aren't. To be fair, some people are a bit mental. But anyhow, I'm still a bit baffled by all this. Today, Ford is saying, if you order the most popular version of the truck, you can get it in September. Now, it's worth pointing out that Ford have done something to discourage potential buyers, which was raise the price, I believe it was either 4 or 5 times since launch. And they have had some other issues. For example, there was a battery recall. So Ford stopped production for, I think it was about 6 weeks. But what that meant is that there was no cars going out. So Ford actually reopened orders on the 9th of May. So you may or may not be wondering, you might be thinking, well, hey, maybe Ford have just delivered an insane number of F-150 Lightnings this year, meaning that they've gotten through a lot of those orders, a lot of those 200,000 plus orders. So let's have a look at the numbers. In the first quarter, as in January, February, and March, Ford delivered 4,291 pickups. So now we're left with, say 196,000 to go. In May, Ford massively ramped up production, which was great. Phenomenal job by Ford. They delivered 7,333. Actually, sorry to disappoint you, that's not really what happened. In May, Ford delivered 1,707. The total number of F-150 Lightnings this year that they've delivered is 7,333, meaning this year they've delivered 7,333 Electric Lightnings of their 200,000 pre-orders. So maybe you're thinking, well, 2022 is the year. They must have gone through a lot of those 200,000 in 2022. Well, they delivered 15,617. So that means they've delivered around 23,000 vehicles of the Lightning in total so far. 23,000 of over 200,000 pre-orders. And Ford's already saying, if you order now, you can get it in September. Here's the kind of stuff we're hearing from mainstream media about the Lightning. And this is why I don't recommend you read mainstream media. The stuff they say is just baloney. We know that Ford is losing $20,000 per vehicle they sell, per electric car they sell. We know that because Ford said it themselves. Here is one quote. In the current EV gold rush, Ford is raking in cash with its new F-150 Lightning pickup truck. But after struggling to keep up with orders for a while, the Blue Oval has now promised much shorter wait times. After hundreds of employees were transferred to the Rouge Electric Vehicle Centre, I reported on that, by the way, that's pretty cool. Ford said, you guys working in our gasoline-powered place? We don't need you anymore. Go work in our electric place. I've been saying for a long time, that's going to happen, right? You're going to get fired or you're going to get a job at the new EV manufacturing facilities. At some point, that'll happen for everyone. So Ford are now saying, right, that the wait times have shrunk so much that anyone who orders the popular Lightning XLT trim, in fact, the most popular version of the truck, only has to wait until September for their truck to arrive. Ford themselves say the XLT has been in especially high demand since the electric truck arrived. And this comes in the wake of the company completely getting rid of the reservation system, allowing anyone to go into a Ford dealership or online to configure and order their vehicle whenever they please. This goes for all Lightning models. So whether you want a Lariat or a Platinum, you won't have long to wait. None of them do. There are not long waits on any of them, except one model. And I'll get to that one model in a second. I'll explain why the wait on that one model is indefinite. Seriously. Customer interest for XLT has considerably outstripped supply since the F-150 Lightning launch, and we've worked with our suppliers to help address that, said Ford. So Ford is saying that interest for the XLT has outstripped supply since they actually launched the vehicle. I'm actually really curious then to know what happened to the, what was there, about 75,000 pre-orders for the XLT version. Where are they all? If customer interest has outstripped supply since they actually began selling them, as in not the pre-order period, what is going on here? I don't understand how it's possible that Ford has sold so many due to this customer interest over the past, 6 months to justify this claim. It seems to me that this claim doesn't stack up. I can't find anyone in the mainstream media reporting on this. If Tesla did this, if Tesla made these claims, right, every man and his dog would be on this like a sack of potatoes. They'd be saying, Tesla's lying. Tesla's saying they got these 200,000 pre-orders. All of a sudden, you can get a Tesla now within a few months. What's going on? They've only produced 15,000 of them. 16, what was it? What was the number again? No, sorry, 23,000 of them. What's happened to their other 150,000 pre-orders or other, that's what they'd be saying. Weird that, isn't it? So clearly a lot of people have cancelled their pre-orders. In fact, massive numbers have cancelled their pre-orders. However, you've got to admit this vehicle it's a very non-polarizing vehicle. Styling isn't much different to the regular F150, with more design flourishes, and while in the right trim, a non-car person wouldn't even know this is an EV. So a lot of customers are drawn to this vehicle for that reason. They think it's basically an acceptable car to buy. You're not going to stand out and look weird. And the other thing is, the vehicle's performance is actually pretty good. The base model has 240 miles of range and 452 horsepower. That's a fair bit of power. The standard range battery version has 320 miles of range and 580 horsepower. But both versions come with 775 pound-feet of torque. That is a lot of torque. Now, I haven't actually mentioned the cheapest version, the Workmate, that Ford said that they would reveal for $40,000 US. The price of that has increased to $53,000, but you can't buy them. You can't order them because Ford loses too much money on them. So basically, Ford won't give you an update on what's going on in that vehicle because, well, it's not in their interest to do so. And I totally understand that. The issue is, we don't live in a vacuum. And other trucks are on their way. The long-range Rivian R1T, GMC's EV, the Silverado EV, the Ram Rev, what a weird name. The Ram Rev is coming, which will have over 400 miles of range. Plus, we all know the Cybertruck is coming as well. The buyer is always right. Ford says buyers are lining up in droves to order the F-150 Lightning. But the numbers here don't actually prove that to be correct. In fact, if anything, they suggested Ford is pulling a bit of a fast one on us. Clearly something strange is going on. Or simply what has happened is that at least 100,000 of these pre-orders have been cancelled. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching.